How many times have you told yourself, this is just the way things are? How many times have you settled for less than you truly deserve because you thought it was good enough? Listen to me. Good enough is the enemy of greatness. You are capable of so much more, but somewhere along the way you start believing the lie that you have to settle. Maybe it was fear, maybe it was self-doubt, maybe it was the voices of people around you telling you to be realistic. But let me tell you something. Your life is not meant to be lived in mediocrity. It's time to break free from the limits you've placed on yourself and step into the extraordinary. Right now, in this very moment, you have a choice to keep accepting less or to demand more from yourself, your career, your relationships, your life. The only person who can make that decision is you. So let's go. Your mindset is the foundation of everything you do in life. It dictates how you see the world, how you respond to challenges, and ultimately what you believe you deserve. If you've been settling for less than you truly want, it's not because you lack talent, resources, or opportunity. It's because your mindset has been conditioned to accept mediocrity. From an early age, we're shaped by our environment, by the beliefs of those around us, and by our own experiences. If you've been told to be realistic, to not expect too much, or to accept what you're given, then over time, you start to believe it. But here's the truth. Your beliefs are not facts, and just because you've thought a certain way for years doesn't mean you can't change it. Reprogramming your mindset begins with awareness. You need to start paying attention to the thoughts that run through your mind on a daily basis. Are they empowering or limiting? Do they push you forward or do they keep you stuck? Every time you tell yourself that something is impossible, that you're not good enough, or that you don't have what it takes, you reinforce a belief system that keeps you trapped in a life that's less than what you truly want. But when you start challenging those thoughts, when you start replacing them with empowering beliefs, everything changes. Instead of saying, I can't do this, you say, I am capable and I will figure it out. Instead of saying, this is just the way things are, you say, I have the power to create a new reality. One of the most powerful ways to reprogram your mindset is through repetition. Your brain is like a muscle, and just like you train your body in the gym, you need to train your mind every single day. Start feeding it with empowering thoughts, powerful affirmations, and stories of people who have defied the odds and created extraordinary lives. Immerse yourself in the energy of those who refuse to settle. Read books, listen to podcasts, and surround yourself with people who push you to think bigger. The more you expose your mind to new possibilities, the more it starts to believe that more is possible for you. Another critical step in shifting your mindset is changing the way you speak about yourself and your life. Words have power. Every time you say, I'm stuck, you reinforce the belief that there's no way out. Every time you say, I'm not good enough, you deepen the belief that you don't deserve more. But when you change your language, you change your reality. Instead of saying, I'm stuck, say, I'm learning and growing. Instead of saying, I'm not good enough, say, I am constantly improving and getting stronger every day. It may seem like a small shift, but over time, these words will rewire your brain to see yourself in a completely new light. One of the biggest reasons people settle for less is fear. Fear of failure, fear of rejection, fear of stepping outside their comfort zone. But here's what you need to understand. Fear is just a story. It's a conditioned response that has been programmed into your mind to keep you safe. The problem is the part of your brain that's trying to protect you from pain is also keeping you from growth. If you want to reprogram your mindset, you need to reframe fear. Instead of seeing it as a stop sign, see it as a signal that you're stepping into something bigger. Instead of running from it, lean into it. Ask yourself, what's the worst that could happen? Most of the time, the worst case scenario isn't nearly as bad as your mind makes it out to be. And even if you do fail, you'll learn, you'll grow, and you'll come back stronger. The key to lasting change is consistency. You don't reprogram your mindset overnight. It takes daily effort, discipline, and commitment. But the moment you decide that you will no longer accept a life that is anything less than what you truly desire, everything begins to shift. Your thoughts change, your actions change, and eventually your reality changes. You are not stuck. You are not limited. The only thing holding you back is the belief that you have to settle. But you don't. You deserve more, and the journey to claiming it starts in your mind. Your standards define the quality of your life. What you tolerate is what you end up with. If you've been settling for less, it's because at some level you've accepted it as your reality. The truth is, your life is a direct reflection of the standards you set for yourself. If you demand more, expect more, and refuse to accept anything less than what you truly deserve, everything changes. But most people don't even realize they have low standards. They convince themselves that what they have is good enough. They rationalize why they can't have more. They make excuses about their circumstances, their past, or their limitations. But the moment you raise your standards, the moment you draw a line in the sand and say, this is the new me, your entire life begins to shift. Changing your standards starts with getting brutally honest with yourself. Where in your life have you been settling? Is it in your relationships, your career, your health, or your finances? Have you been accepting less than you know you deserve? Have you been putting up with situations, behaviors, or habits that don't serve you? It's time to stop making excuses and start demanding more. That doesn't mean you have to be harsh or ungrateful for what you have. It means recognizing that you have the power to create something better. You don't get what you wish for in life, you get what you demand. You get what you are willing to work for, fight for, and refuse to compromise on. One of the biggest reasons people settle for less is because they fear the discomfort of change. They think, what if I fail? What if I make a mistake? What if people judge me? But here's the reality. Growth is uncomfortable. Raising your standards means stepping into the unknown, taking risks, getting past your fears. It means saying no to things that no longer align with the person you're becoming. It means letting go of relationships, habits, and beliefs that are keeping you stuck. And yes, it's scary. But staying where you are, accepting less than you deserve, and looking back with regret, that's even scarier. Your standards are not just about what you say you want, they're about what you are willing to commit to. You can't just hope for a better life, you have to demand it through your actions. If you want to be healthier, you don't just wish for it, you make daily choices that reflect that standard. You don't eat junk, you don't skip workouts, and you don't let excuses take over. If you want more financial success, you don't just talk about it, you develop the skills, put in the work, and refuse to accept mediocrity. If you want better relationships, you don't tolerate disrespect, dishonesty, or toxicity. You set boundaries, communicate your needs, and surround yourself with people who uplift and inspire you. The moment you raise your standards, you send a message to yourself and to the world about what you will and won't accept. And guess what? The universe responds. The way people treat you shifts, opportunities start appearing, you begin to attract situations that align with your new level of expectation. It's not magic. It's a reflection of your energy, your focus, and your commitment. People who have high standards don't settle. They don't make excuses, they don't blame others, they take full responsibility for their lives and demand the best from themselves every single day. The challenge is that raising your standards isn't a one-time decision, it's a daily practice. It's waking up every morning and reaffirming what you stand for. It's holding yourself accountable even when it's hard. It's refusing to let old habits and limiting beliefs creep back in. And when you slip, because you will, it's about getting back on track quickly. The difference between those who create an extraordinary life and those who settle for mediocrity is that the ones who demand more don't quit when it gets tough. They push through, they adapt, and they keep raising the bar. You are capable of so much more than you've been settling for. The question is, are you willing to raise your standards and claim it? Your beliefs shape your reality. Every single thing you have or don't have right now is a direct result of what you believe is possible for you. If you believe you deserve success, fulfillment, love, and happiness, you will take the actions necessary to create that reality. But if deep down you believe you're not worthy, not capable, or not lucky enough, you will sabotage yourself without even realizing it. Most people don't question their beliefs. They assume that what they think is the truth. They say, this is just who I am. This is how life works. But have you ever stopped to ask yourself where those beliefs came from? Were they shaped by your parents, your teachers, society, or past experiences? Were they created in a moment of failure, rejection, or the mind is a powerful thing, and it clings to the stories you tell yourself, even if those stories are outdated, limiting and keeping you small. If you've been settling for less than you deserve, it's time to dig deep and uncover the limiting beliefs that are running the show. One of the most damaging beliefs people hold is that they are not enough, not smart enough, not strong enough, not talented enough, not worthy enough. This belief keeps them playing small, avoiding risks, and accepting mediocrity. But here's the truth. You were born enough. You don't have to earn it. You don't have to prove it. You just have to step into it. The only thing standing between you and the life you want is the belief that it's possible for you. Because when you truly believe it's possible, you will find a way to make it happen. You will push through obstacles. You will take action, and you will refuse to give up. Your beliefs are reinforced by your actions, which means if you want to change your beliefs, you have to change your behavior. If you believe you're not good at something, you will avoid it, and by avoiding it, you will never get better. If you believe success isn't meant for you, you won't take the necessary steps to create it, and that lack of action will confirm your belief. It becomes a self-fulfilling prophecy. But the good news is, the same rule applies in reverse. When you start acting like the person you want to become, your mind begins to shift. You develop new reference points, new evidence, and new beliefs that support your growth. One of the fastest ways to shift your beliefs is through repetition. The more you tell yourself something, the more it becomes ingrained in your subconscious. This is why people who constantly say, "I'm not good enough," eventually convince themselves it's true. But if you start telling yourself, "I am capable, I am worthy, I can figure this out," and you back it up with action, you will start to believe it. And when you believe it, you will act on it. This isn't about fake positivity. It's about conditioning your mind for success. Your environment also plays a massive role in shaping your beliefs. If you're surrounded by people who settle for less, who complain, who don't challenge themselves, it's easy to adopt those same habits and mindsets. But if you surround yourself with people who are constantly pushing their limits, growing and striving for more, that energy will pull you up. Your standards will naturally rise. You will start believing in bigger possibilities simply because you see others achieving them. This is why mentorship, coaching, and personal development are so powerful. They expose you to new ways of thinking and new beliefs that can transform your life. You must guard your mind like your life depends on it, because it does. Everything starts in your mind. Your beliefs control your actions, and your actions create your reality. If you want more, if you refuse to settle, then it's time to rewrite the old scripts running in your head. It's time to replace self-doubt with self-belief. It's time to stop waiting for permission and start claiming what's already yours. The only thing standing between you and your highest potential is the belief that you can't reach it. And that belief, it's a lie. It's time to break free from it and step into your true power. Fear of failure is one of the biggest reasons people settle for less in life. It keeps them from taking risks, trying new things, and pushing beyond their comfort zones. But failure is not the enemy. The real enemy is the fear that paralyzes you, that convinces you to stay where you are, even when you know you're capable of more. Failure is just feedback. It's a lesson, a stepping stone, a necessary part of growth. Every successful person has failed more times than they can count, but the difference is they didn't let failure define them. They didn't allow it to become a reason to stop. Instead, they used it as fuel, as a teacher, as proof that they were pushing themselves toward something greater. The problem is that most people associate failure with pain. They've been conditioned to believe that failing means they are not good enough, that they should quit, that they are not meant to succeed, but this is a lie. The truth is, the most successful people in the world have failed far more than the average person. The only difference is they never stopped. They saw failure as part of the process, not the end of the road. They understood that every setback, every mistake was a lesson, an opportunity to learn and come back stronger. If you let the fear of failure control you, you will never take action. You will stay stuck, playing it safe, settling for a life that is far below what you are capable of. You have to reframe failure in your mind. Instead of seeing it as a dead end, see it as a stepping stone. Instead of fearing it, embrace it. Understand that failure is proof that you are taking action, that you are moving forward. It's only when you stop failing that you should be worried, because that means you've stopped trying. Growth happens when you challenge yourself, when you step outside of what is familiar and comfortable. That's where real transformation takes place. But most people avoid this because it feels uncomfortable, it feels uncertain. And that discomfort, that uncertainty, triggers fear. But let me ask you this. What's scarier, taking a risk and failing, or staying in the same place for the rest of your life, never knowing what could have been? The pain of regret is far worse than the pain of failure. When you look back on your life years from now, you won't regret the times you tried and failed. You'll regret the times you didn't try at all, the times you let fear win, the times you talked yourself out of an opportunity because you were afraid of what might happen. And the times you settled for less even though you knew you were meant for more. The only way to break free from this cycle is to take action. Action is the antidote to fear. When you take action, you gain experience, and with experience comes confidence. The more you do something, the less scary it becomes. What once felt impossible becomes second nature. What once seemed terrifying becomes just another step in your journey. You build resilience. You build strength. You become someone who no longer lets fear control them. And when that happens, doors start to open. Opportunities appear. Life expands. But it all starts with a decision. A decision to stop letting fear dictate your choices. A decision to embrace failure as part of the process. A decision to take action, even when it's uncomfortable, even when you're not sure if you'll succeed. Because here's the truth. Nobody ever feels completely ready. Nobody ever has all the answers before they start. The people who achieve great things in life aren't the ones who had it all figured out from the beginning. They are the ones who started before they felt ready, who took action despite the fear, who failed and kept going. You have that same power within you. The power to rise above your fear, the power to push through failure, the power to take control of your life instead of letting fear control you. But you have to be willing to take that first step. You have to be willing to trust yourself, to believe that you are capable of more, because the truth is, you have always been. Fear is just an illusion, a mental barrier that keeps you trapped. But the moment you decide to step through it, everything changes. People settle for less because they don't truly believe they deserve more. Deep down, they have limiting beliefs that tell them they're not worthy of success, love, happiness, or abundance. These beliefs are often formed in childhood, shaped by past experiences, or reinforced by the people around them. Maybe they grew up hearing things like, money doesn't grow on trees, you have to struggle to succeed, or some people are just lucky and you're not one of them. Over time, these messages become internalized and they start to believe that their potential is limited, that they can only go so far, that they should be grateful for what they have and not ask for more. But the truth is, the only limits that exist are the ones you accept. If you don't believe you deserve more, you will never go after it. You will never push yourself beyond your comfort zone because in your mind, what you have is all you are meant to have. This is why self-worth is the foundation of success. If you don't believe in your own value, you will constantly settle for less. Less money, less love, less happiness, less opportunity. You will sabotage your own growth because deep down you don't think you are capable of more. This is why you see people who have all the potential in the world but never take action. They have the skills, the talent, the intelligence, but they hold themselves back because their mind is working against them. They stay in jobs that don't fulfill them, relationships that don't inspire them, situations that drain them because a part of them whispers, this is the best you're going to get. But that is a lie. That voice in your head is lying to you. You were not put on this earth to live a small life. You were not meant to settle. You were meant to grow, to evolve, to expand, to chase after the things that set your soul on fire. The first step to breaking free from this pattern is to recognize your worth. You have to make the decision that you are worthy of more, that you deserve success, that you deserve happiness, that you deserve to live a life that excites you. Because when you change your beliefs, you change your reality. Your mind is a powerful thing, and what you believe will shape your actions, your habits, and ultimately your results. And as you watch me on stage take this to a higher level, become yourself, 200 episodes later, we need you more. If you believe you are worthy of success, you will take the steps necessary to achieve it. If you believe you are worthy of love, you will stop settling for relationships that make you feel small. If you believe you are worthy of abundance, you will stop playing it safe and start going after the things that truly matter to you. But here's the thing. Belief alone is not enough. You have to back it up with action. You can't just sit around telling yourself you deserve more and expect things to magically change. You have to take risks. You have to put yourself out there. You have to challenge yourself to grow. And yes, it will be uncomfortable. Yes, there will be moments of doubt. Yes, there will be times when you feel like giving up. But if you keep going, if you keep pushing forward despite the fear, you will start to see your life transform. Because life will always meet you at your level of belief and effort. If you believe you deserve more and you take action toward it, opportunities will start to appear. People will take notice. Doors will open. But you have to make the first move. So ask yourself, where in your life are you settling? Where have you convinced yourself that this is all there is? What are the stories you are telling yourself about why you can't have more? And more importantly, are you ready to let go of those stories? Are you ready to step into your full potential? Because the moment you decide to raise your standards, to demand more from yourself and your life, everything starts to change. You are capable of so much more than you realize. But you have to believe it. You have to own it. You have to step into it. Because the moment you do, the moment you stop settling and start expecting more, the world will rise up to meet you. You have been conditioned to believe that playing it safe is the right thing to do. Society teaches you to be practical, to stay within the lines, to avoid risk, to be grateful for what you have, even if it doesn't fulfill you. From a young age, you are taught to follow the rules, to not rock the boat, to be satisfied with stability rather than chase after your dreams. And while gratitude is important, it should never be an excuse to settle for a life that doesn't inspire you. But this conditioning runs deep. It keeps you stuck. It makes you feel guilty for wanting more, as if reaching for a bigger, better life means you are ungrateful for what you already have. The truth is, gratitude and ambition can coexist. You can be deeply grateful for everything in your life while still striving for more. You don't have to choose between the two. You can appreciate the journey while pushing yourself to the next level. The danger of playing it safe is that it becomes a habit. The more you settle, the easier it gets to keep settling. One day turns into 1 year, and 1 year turns into a decade. Before you know it, you wake up wondering how you got here, realizing that you let fear and comfort dictate your choices. You look back at all the moments you could have taken a chance, all the times you could have said yes, all the opportunities you let slip by because you're too afraid to take the leap. And that regret is far worse than the fear of failure, because failure at least teaches you something. Failure moves you forward. Settling, on the other hand, keeps you stagnant. It traps you in a life of what ifs and if onlys. It keeps you in the background when you were meant to be center stage. You have to break the cycle. You have to recondition yourself to take risks, to go after what you truly want, to stop making excuses for why you can't and start focusing on how you can, because the truth is, the only person keeping you from the life you want is you. The limitations you see are the ones you have accepted. The ceiling you feel pressing down on you is one you built. And just as you built it, you can break through it. You have to be willing to step outside of your comfort zone. You have to be willing to say yes to yourself even when it scares you. Because the only way to create an extraordinary life is to stop playing small and start stepping into your full potential.